Hello, welcome to my weekly update. I hope everyone watching has had a great week. This week, I would like to talk about my Heartmind membership, Neuro Somatic Mindfulness meditation, a summit I'm currently attending, and then also a public service announcement. So we'll start off with Neuro Somatic Mindfulness and the Heartmind Institute membership. So I've been a member here for a while now, and I have to say that I've loved it, especially with this part of my healing process, kind of the skills I'm developing from it. And also I have like weekly meditation meetings that I attend, which is giving me like a space to not only, support my meditation practice, but also to have a social outlet in a part of my life that would otherwise be an incredibly isolating period. The meditation meetups are great. We'll discuss anything that's kind of happened throughout the week that may seem relevant. We also practice a type of meditation called Neuro Somatic Mindfulness meditation, and it was developed by the founder of the Heartmind Institute, Dr. Maull. And this meditation is a bit different than any other kind of meditation that I've done before. I've been meditating for around about 20 years, kind of off and on, and this just hits different. So, most guided meditations that you'll do, except for like the pain management ones where you kind of have to feel yourself, you don't spend a lot of time in your body. Maybe a little bit, you may do a body scan, maybe a couple, but you don't go real deep. So the difference is with the neurosomatic method is that, or neurosomatic mindfulness, is that you start with the surface of your skin and you kind of go, you feel everything that's touching your skin, whether it's the clothes you're wearing, the air on your face, maybe it's the breath going in and out of your nose. And then from there, you just you keep working down. So you go down to the muscles, you feel the weight of your muscles, and then you go down into the bones. And I've never had or experienced a meditation practice that has been so in-depth before. And being chronically ill, it may really, really suck to have to feel my body, because chances are it's in some kind of alarm state or discomfort or something like that. And living every single minute of your life like this, you feel like all you do is feel your body. And I will say that while I find that incredibly unpleasant, but also at the same time, it reduces the anxiety. So while it may be awful to kind of sink down into your body when you have GI issues or joint pain or whatever, what it does do is it decreases your anxiety, the rumination stops, the default mode network stuff. It's just, you go into a deep state of relaxation, but physical relaxation, not just mental relaxation or emotional relaxation. So and a lot of times with pain, if you can alleviate some of that freak out, that like, oh, I'm in pain, and you kind of clench up and you relax, some of it dissipates. So yeah, it's been really, really awesome to have this be a part of my healing process. It's been very helpful. I will also say that with the type of brain damage I had peripheral nerve damage that it knocks out feeling throughout the left-hand part of my body. And, getting that back was really kind of shocking, and probably in more ways than you would imagine. So with the kind of nerve damage that I had and coupled with the brain damage, I no longer felt my emotions on a physical level. Painful emotions and even pleasant ones, they have a physical component to it. So I spent close to 20 years just not feeling any of my emotions. And I could feel them now, and I don't understand them at all. But where the neurosomatic mindfulness meditation practice kind of comes into play is I really feel like it's causing me to work consciously on becoming comfortable with feeling everything, even if it's something that I don't want to feel. Every time that I do this practice, it's like telling my body, hey, yeah, you may feel this and it may feel bad, but you're going to be okay. So that's been very helpful in that part of my healing process. In addition to the weekly meditation meetups, there's also monthly coaching calls with Dr. Maull, which has also been absolutely amazing because, waking up from brain damage, I have a lot of very unique, weird challenges, and one of which is understanding my emotions, what they feel like, which goes hand in hand with the type of meditation work. But these monthly coaching calls, I can actually talk to Dr. Maull and ask him questions about, well, how does this feel? What does this feel? What does this mean? And then from there, I can branch off into behavior modification or understanding my belief systems, which is also huge because, 20 years of living a certain way, I had a lot of really awful things happen to me within the medical system, employment related, just a lot of really bad things. And I don't remember a lot of them. But I'm learning that regardless of whether I remember them or not, they've created a kind of silent belief system in me that I didn't even know existed. It's not a conscious thing, but it's definitely there. Whether I remember that time I got fired or I don't remember that time I got fired, my nervous system remembers. So, being able to talk to him about this kind of stuff and having him give me pointers on how to manage some of these challenges has just been amazing. So yeah, if you would like to check out the Heartmind Institute, I've dropped a link down in the description. Next is a summit I've been attending this week, which is also from the Heartmind Institute. It's called Rewiring to Break Free from Self-Limiting Behaviors World Summit. And this, much like the monthly coaching calls, has been amazing for me with where I am in my development right now. So kind of what I said earlier about, going through really awful things and maybe not remembering them. It's kind of the same thing here with my behaviors, because I do a ton of stuff that even I don't understand why I behave that way. And I'm so blind to a lot of it that I don't even know they're bad behaviors until someone else points them out. So this summit has been absolutely amazing because you get to hear all these specialists talk about behavioral patterns, and chronic pain is one of them. That's, I think, part of my chronic pain issue is a learned kind of behavior. Oh, you're injured, you're in pain. I learned that. I mean, granted, it actually happened, but when you don't heal after years and years and years, you get it in your head. You believe that you are in pain. So this summit is really helping me both to learn kind of calming techniques like breathing exercises, but also to understand behavioral patterns and belief systems and kind of how those two fit together, and also kind of how to change those behaviors, because this summit is giving me the tools to do that. So very grateful, very happy for this summit. I've dropped a link down in the description if you would like to check it out for yourself. And last but not least is a public service announcement. So earlier this week I had something both gross and incredibly relieving happen. So I've had a ton of symptoms that I've been basically ignoring, and a lot of them, aren't good. So like joint pain, anxiety, fatigue, insomnia, difficulty falling asleep, neuropathy in my feet that's so bad that it keeps me up at night. A lot of cognitive and memory issues. So I'm filming this maybe like after I read over the topics that I was going to discuss. And I read over it maybe a handful of times before I figured out what was going on. I was spending a couple hours rehearsing like 5-minute videos. That's insane. So my memory and my cognition has started to improve, thank God. There's also been visual disturbances. So like really just earlier this week, I was just going about my day doing my normal stuff, and there's these pink blotches kind of like moving across my field of vision, and you kind of shake your head and just kind of go about what you're doing, because it doesn't help to get freaked out about that. But I had no idea what was causing these things. I had figured it was from parasites because I didn't finish the parasite cleanse that I did, but there was more to it than that. So I bought a water distiller a while ago, and it with the sole purpose of decreasing my toxic load, and I've loved it. I've absolutely loved this brand. I've used it at least 1 time a day, sometimes 2-3 times a day, and it still keeps doing its job. Like, it works really, really well. And, I saw improvement after buying this distiller within a few days of just drinking distilled water. So amazing addition if you're dealing with toxic mold exposure, Lyme, parasites, anything. I mean, honestly, drinking distilled water, it's I'd rather drink that and re-add my salts and electrolytes than tap any day. But earlier this week I realized that the water I was drinking, it tasted a little funny, and it smelled kind of, I don't know, sweet yet disgusting, and I couldn't bring myself to keep drinking it. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I just cleaned out the distiller recently, so I knew it wasn't like a problem with the tank. So I went out there to take a look, and check out this picture. You see that black dot by the vent? That's mold. It's growing all over the inside of the upper assembly's case. And, I looked under the spout, took the charcoal filter off and looked under. And sure enough, it's up in the spout too. So chances are it's in that spiral tube that kind of goes down to the spout. Because, water distillers, you have the bottom and you put water in it and boil it. And the steam rises, condenses, and goes in that tube and down the spiral, cools, and drops down into your water collection thing. So, I've contacted the manufacturer, and I told them what was going on, that I've been really sick, and I wasn't sure if they would honor my warranty for a new top assembly, but they're telling me to take apart the top assembly and to just clean it and put it back. It's like, that's not the problem. The problem is inside that spiral tube. There's no way I can clean that. So I don't know what I'm going to do there yet. That might just be another loss to toxic mold that I'll have to just accept. Not sure. But I'm going to keep drinking the filtered water, and hopefully I'll continue to see a relief in symptoms. But yeah, so that was my public service announcement. So just know that when you purchase something to decrease your toxic load, that it is not immune from toxins itself. All right, I think that's it for this week. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next. Thank you. Bye.